Here we're going to look at representing linear relations written in a different form. More specifically, horizontal and vertical lines. So this is a vertical line, this is a horizontal line. Now, if the equation is in the form of x equals a number, it will be a vertical line over that number on the x-axis. If it's in the form of y equals a number, it will be horizontal on that number on the y-axis. Let's do a couple of examples. So first example, we need to represent all three equations in the same Cartesian plan, in the same graph. So let's start off by doing our axis. This is the vertical axis, which is y, and let's do the vertical. This is the horizontal axis, x. So let's just label them x and y. Now, let's take a look at the first one. Now, the first one, x equals 4. That's going to be x equals -4. That's going to be vertical at -4 on x. So -4 on x, if each square is 1, -4 would be 4 squares to the left of the origin point here, 0. So -1, -2, -3, -4. -4 would be here. So that means that that equation would be a vertical line on -4 on x. So this is x equals -4. Now the second one, y plus 2 equals 0. We need to solve for y. So what number do I add 2 equals 0? Y equals -2. Now this is going to be a horizontal line on -2 on y. So y is here, -2 would be here. So it's going to be a horizontal line on -2. So that line would be labeled as y equals -2. Finally, we have 2 times the number equals 5. So if we solve for this number would be what's half of 5. So 2 times what is 2.5. So 2 and 5/10 or 2.5 or 2.5. So that would be here on x, so 2.5. And that would be a vertical line, same as the first one, vertical. So we just do a vertical line on 2.5 on x. Just about there in the middle between the two squares. There we go. And you would label that line as x equals 2 and 1/2. Let's do one final example. So for this equation, 3x minus 2y equals 6. Create a table of values where x equals -4, 0, and 4. So let's do that first. Table of value. So here we go. X and y. X, y. And if x is, let's start off with -4. So if x is -4, we have 3 times -4, -12. So I need to solve what -12 minus what number gives me 6. So what has a difference of 6 with -12? The answer is -18. It has a difference of +6. So 2 times what number gives me -18? -9. Second one, if x equals 0, so let's say this is 0. What's 0 minus what has a difference of 6 with 0? So the number that has a difference of 6 with 0 is negative 6. So negative 6. And finally, if x equals 4, we have 12 here. So 12 minus what number gives me 6? 6. So 2 times what gives me 6? It would be 3. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It would be negative 3 here. Because I forgot it's 2 times what number gives me negative 6. Otherwise, it wouldn't be linear because it has to follow the same pattern here. So our jumps here are 6, 6. Now that we have our table, we need to represent this graphically. So if I do just a rough graph, here's my y-axis, x-axis. So let's just label that as such, y, x. And let's say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4 for our x-axis, and for y, let's do this the same. So, but going to 9. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and going to 9, negative 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. So negative 9 here. Negative 4 here, negative 4 here, and 3 would be here, 1, 2, 3, negative 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so then we just put our coordinates, so negative 4, negative 9, negative 4, negative 9 would be here, 0, negative 3 would be here, and finally 4, 3 around here. And as you can see, it does create a linear progression. Here is the practice. Make sure you check your work behind the book.